Hi, this is Mark Cook with Kitplanes Magazine. This is our virtual world in 2020 as COVID-19 sort of rakes over our whole lifestyle and aviation included. This is about the time, Sebastien, you and I would be talking at Sun and Fun and commiserating about the heat and the mosquitoes and talking about what's happening in the industry. But that's not our reality right now. So we thought we would launch this little series to check in with some of the manufacturers and some of the movers and shakers in the industry to see what's going on. And I'm curious about a few things. You had mentioned earlier that you're going to be launching this virtual workshop, which I definitely want to talk a lot about. But before we get into that, I'd really like to know kind of what's happening at your facility and how has this impacted you so far?
Specifically, we continue to remain open right now. We're monitoring it very closely, like everybody else, I think, is. But we don't have a stay-at-home order as of yet out here, so we feel that we're better, or we're more productive and better suited to show up for work. Of course, here we are kind of isolating ourselves. Our factory layout is broad enough where we're not, maintaining that 6-foot social distancing rule is really not a problem. The only thing they really have to adjust is the lunchroom, really, from that standpoint. So we're coping quite well on the production side, and our focus is on continuing to support customers during this. And we can talk about this a little bit more, but I think building an airplane, a kit airplane project it's a great project to be doing while you're social distancing yourself, because I've always faulted a lot of our customers, and I always tell them, make it a family project. Get other people involved in your airplane, because most typically it's a loner project. It's a guy working by himself in his garage or basement workshop. And again, I don't normally celebrate that, but during this time, I think it is an activity that we can celebrate. Same thing flying. Typically, even if we have a 2 or 4 seat airplane, typically we're flying by ourselves, and we're going hanging out at the airport by ourselves, or with 1 or 2 friends. So again, this is an opportunity where you can do that. Unfortunately, I know specifically my New Zealand customers, and I think Australia has done the same. They basically grounded all general aviation, which I understand the reasons for, because they want to minimize the spread, obviously. But oftentimes, if we're taking off and landing at the same little airport by ourselves, that's unfortunate that's the kind of activity that is being banned, especially when it affects our mental health and so forth, that we're actually promoting, if you will, by doing these activities. So, but again, we've been very fortunate. Our customers continue to place orders, so we love to see that and to hear that, because again, this type of nationwide, worldwide pandemic, we just don't know what direction things will be going into. But we certainly appreciate our supportive customers. And again, support doesn't just have to be ordering a full kit, just ordering parts and not delaying what you're planning on doing anyway. And I think just mentally, again, I think it's important for us to continue on as much as practical, to continue on with our daily routines while all this is going on, so that again, when we do get back to normal, we're ready to go completely back to normal in a quick time span.
Yeah, that's a fair point, and you're right that flying is one of those things that can be done individually, can be done with social separation. Of course, if you have members of the household that you're already connected to, you can take them flying. And the mental aspect of it is pretty hard to understate, as well as the opportunity to continue working on your project. So that's fair. Now, I'm curious. A lot of companies are kind of leveraged in terms of, not leveraged, but they're spread out in terms of their supply chain. I know you guys build a lot of your own stuff. How has that affected you with COVID?
So far, really no problems. And I don't want to say yet, because hopefully there won't be. We're a pretty vertically integrated company in the sense that, we've been a kit manufacturer for many years, and we know that to be able to manufacture affordable kits, to keep the price as low as possible, and then as well as maintain a really strong hold of quality control by keeping everything in-house. We are able to, again, keep the prices low, as well as maintain the quality that we need to. and the traceability on the parts. And so again, in this case here, that's serving us well because we're not relying on a lot of outside suppliers for that. And then just again, for practical reasons as well as, again, we tried not to outsource and import stuff as much as practical. So again, we feel we're sitting in a pretty good shape right now.
So one of the things that's obviously impacted by COVID-19 is your builder workshop. Now, I know you guys have introduced an alternative to that. So tell me a little bit more about this. This sounds really fascinating to me.
Well, yeah, the workshop is something we've been doing for many, many years. I think 25 years plus. I think we've been doing workshops, and we pretty much do them once a month. Where we're basically, folks that are interested in learning about building and flying their own airplane, just kind of wanting to learn a lot more about the kit industry as a whole. They come out to the factory. We spend 2 days working on the rudder tail section of the airplane. And again, we do that section because it's a full section of the airplane. You have a spar, nose ribs, rear ribs, and you can really cover all these different elements in a relatively short span, covering all the skills. And and while they're here as well, we go flying in the airplane, demo flight, go tour the factory, and then just a lot of Q&A and so forth, just to learn a lot more about the whole element of what is building an airplane, because as you and I know, it's a fun hobby and we enjoy. But for most people from the outside looking in, they really don't know. We're some crazy people building airplanes in our spare time, and it's by doing it and learning more about it. See, it's not that crazy. And the same thing, folks come out here and they see they're not the only ones that have that desire and the interest in building an airplane. And then importantly too, of course, are learning the skills, the tools, type of workbench, all these little nuances that it wouldn't make a very interesting read just having a book about, getting ready to build your own airplane. It's just a lot more interesting to come out and do that. And so we've been doing that every month for many, many years. And unanimously, I think folks really enjoy the process. And I think some people come out to the workshop and spend 2 days doing it to learn that maybe building an airplane is not what they should be doing. And I don't think that's a failure of it, because number one, they're still learning something. And number two, rather than buying a full kit and then deciding they don't have the patience or the skills or whatever it may be, at least they're not starting a project and then not completing it, because we always view that as a failure when we do that, and so we try to avoid that. And so again, not being able to do that here because of the social distancing and traveling, because typically workshop participants come from around the state, around the country. We get them, from all 50 states coming out to the workshops. So obviously that's just not a practical or wise thing to do during this time. So we've canceled the workshop and saying, rather than just cancel it outright, we'll try to use today's technology to try to be able to do a live online virtual workshop. And I'm not sure how we first sort of thought about how we would best do that. Of course, pretty much every meeting is being replaced, just like you and I are meeting right now, over Zoom and discussing this. It's just this is more of a project. Online classes. I know, kids in high school and in colleges around the world right now are in online classes. And so this is just kind of an extension of that. And I think importantly, one, I think we can still maximize on the experience by going ahead and doing it. And then number two, I think it's just important not to just cancel everything, because I think where it's possible right now in this pandemic going on, it's tempting to just say, well, we're just going to cancel and come back, later this summer or in the fall or something like that. But but that's that could be a discouraging thing, and it could be devastating, I think, for the economy, for aviation specifically, but for the rest of the economy around the world. And we don't want to do that, because kickstarting an economy is always more work than I think trying to maintain what we're doing.
Yes, obviously the normal workshop, and I did this years ago, is you're on site, you're actually working on the part that you're going to take home, and if you continue to build the airplane, that's your rudder. Now there's a lot of feedback and there's a lot of sort of hands-on with your staff. How are you going to tweak this program to compensate for that? Obviously, the individual is going to be in his or her own shop with his own drills, and how do you tweak the program to compensate for that?
Well, we'll have to see, because we've never done this before, but from kind of studying and looking at what we've been doing of late, I really don't think it will be difficult, and I really think that people will be able to maximize on the opportunity. I think the key will be, again, interactivity. If you have a question, ask the question and be able to show it. In some ways, we may end up doing a better job teaching ahead of time rather than just saying doing it. We will spend a bit more time saying, this is how to do it beforehand. And for a long time, I've been a big proponent of, learning by doing, because I think, this type of aircraft construction, you can do it and then find out, oh, you're learning a lot of stuff as you're going along, rather than learning ahead of time and then doing the task, because again, that just takes longer. And quite frankly, a lot of folks, especially our age, we get tired of learning sometimes, and we want to do stuff. We're done school, and again, not to say that we're close to learning, but sometimes we just much rather be doing than learning, so to speak. And so, we may have to change that a little bit. But importantly, too, we're doing this workshop strictly for our Super Duty Stoll CH750, which is our latest model, which really uses more match hole final size parts, final hole size drilled parts. So it will be easier to put together, fewer skills, as well as less time. So which will give us more time to teach and so forth. So it'll be interesting that way. But for years I've always told participants, and as well as myself, is if we end up having to build the rudder for the participants, we're not doing our job, because that means we're having to intervene and do it. And so and this, obviously, we will not have the opportunity to grab a drill and and do something for a customer. So I think, but again, I really don't think it will be difficult, and I think a lot of customers will, and in some respects, maybe even learn more, because they will be completely in their home environment. One of the things I tell workshop participants is to tell them, imagine you're at home and doing this, in terms of the skills, the tools, how you're dealing with the instructions. So that again, the takeaway of the workshop experience is to see, can they do this by themselves at home? Because again, we come to the factory, build a rudder, but again, the rest of the airplane, that 95% other part of the airplane, they will be on their own. We won't be there to hold their hand completely through there. Of course, we're always available for phone call, tech support, emails, and so forth.
Right. So basically, you're kind of casting them off, or you're setting them off on a path a little sooner and a little more aggressively than you would if they were in person. But the point is, they're going to have to learn all this stuff, and the fact is that what they're learning on the rudder extends to the rest of the airplane. It's really the same processes that you just do over and over and over again for the big part of the airframe. So I'm curious about the logistics on this. Obviously, you have to get a bunch of rudder kits out the door. What's the deadline for people to get their rudder kit orders in? And I believe this is going to happen on the 23rd of April. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, Thursday the 23rd, and we chose that date because that's what we were already scheduled for the factory workshop. So we said, rather than change it, let's just keep the same date. And again, it was more just the concept of not canceling or anything like that. But good question about the logistics. So what we'll be doing is shipping the rudder kits to the customers. And the rudder kits, it's a small little wooden crate that we ship out by UPS. Is a typical way, and so we are limiting it to the United States just to make sure that we can get it to the customers on time and with minimal headaches. I know some of the international shipping is because of all this coronavirus thing going on is somewhat up in the air in terms of when it can be delivered and so forth. So rather than mess with that, we'll just focus on the U.S. Same with some of the bandwidth issues. I know everybody's online right now, so bandwidth is a bit of a concern. And again, keeping it within the U.S., I think, will give us a little more control over that. At least that's our hope from that standpoint. So anyway, we have them in stock now. We've ramped up for the rudders, put more into production, and starting Monday morning, start shipping them to customers. So they'll probably be getting them already as early as the end of next week. So we've got plenty of time to get ready for that. As well, something that's different when they're doing it at home, they have to make sure they have all the tools readily available there as well. So we're going to be spending time with each customer that orders a rudder kit, making sure that they individually have all the tools that they will need, and then as well as a workbench, things like that. And then we still haven't figured out exactly all the details on the technology side of it, whether we're going to be using fully, two-way interactive video, or maybe just texting one way. We're still trying to figure that out to see that we can meet pretty much everybody's needs, as well as do a good job of being able to present it. So we're still working, whether it's, like we're using right here, Zoom is a popular one. There's also YouTube Live, of course, FaceTime and things like that, which are more one-on-one type of method. So we're looking into that. Since announcing that we're doing that, we've had great feedback from customers that have a lot of experience doing exactly that. Whether it's online classes, virtual workshops, and things like that. So I'll be talking with them, especially next week, to figure this out, so that by the 23rd, we'll really have a good platform that will make a good workshop experience, hopefully.
Well, that sounds great. Now, I understand also that you're going to make this available for free viewing for non-builders, so they have an idea of what the workshop looks like. And I think that's a great idea to let people know, hey, this is what you're in for. This is what the process is. And I know you guys have had a number of videos already up on YouTube and other places where we can kind of get a glimpse of what it's like to start to build one of these. But I think this is a great outreach opportunity for you.
Yeah, I think so too. And I'm always the eternal optimist, and I'm saying that maybe this is the start of something, not to replace what we're currently doing with the workshops, but maybe as an additional outreach. Like you and I were just chatting before. Maybe we need to schedule this more, on a regular basis, whether it's to keep with the industry or for us to have these chats with our customers, whether it's ongoing airworthiness issues, whether it's new builder common questions, answers with new builders, because just like these air shows, especially AirVenture, the thing that we always keep coming back to, it's the people. It's it's not our love of aviation. Yeah, the airplanes is what we share in common, but it's our camaraderie among ourselves. That's really what keeps us motivated and interested in this business.
Absolutely, and it keeps builders going. I mean, when I was building and going to Oshkosh and seeing the completed airplanes, I know that when I went home, I was like, I redoubled my efforts. There's no question about it.
I know, yeah.
So I think there's some value in that. Well, Sebastien,
Absolutely.
thank you. I appreciate the time here today. I know you guys have a lot going on. It's a stressful time for pretty much everybody in the world, in this country especially.
Yeah.
We're all sort of looking around and say, what's our brave new world? But what we're doing in home built aircraft is really rewarding. It's something, as you mentioned earlier, that you can do and maintain the social distancing. With some of these virtual opportunities to work at home and things like that. I don't tell my bosses, but I sneak away from time to time and go work on the airplane. So, there are those opportunities. So, maybe this is making lemonade out of lemons, but not to downplay a global pandemic. But I think there's some opportunities here, and I appreciate you sharing the information with us. And I look forward to seeing this builder workshop. I think it's going to be a success for you.
Well, thank you, Mark. And yeah, we look forward to it. And again, between now and then, it's a great opportunity for those that are looking for something to do. Reach out to us. And again, Zenith Builders, we're answering our phone, we're shipping parts. So we'll be available for as long as we possibly can to support all our customers through this. So that again, once this goes, we can get back to flying and building and enjoying our lives.
I'm all for that. All right, thank you, Sebastien. Right. Thank you, guys, our Kitplanes fans. We appreciate this. It's the first one of what I hope will be many that we're going to be doing.
It sounds like fun.
I hope so too. So in the comments below, let us know who else you'd like us to talk to, the things you're curious about, and we'll put it in our queue and fire up the Zoom and hopefully not crash the internet. Thanks for watching.